January the 28th, 2026. Guys, today on the live stream, we were hoping to see some type of vote or movement on the spending bill that has to be done by midnight Friday. But most of the conversation went back to this guy, Pretti. And all they talked about was him and what an innocent nurse he was. Well, what you're looking at is a still shot, and we're going to look at the video from before that event where he ended up getting shot. I think this was January the 13th, if I'm not mistaken. And watch what he does. Again, were the ICE and Border Patrol so alert about this guy? Did they have some previous encounters with him? Had they went back and looked at footage of this encounter, the one, again, the 13th, probably, it was several days before the final event. I think they did, and let's look at this video and you'll see why they did. The SUV that he's standing behind is an ICE vehicle, and they're attacking it. I don't know if they just arrested someone or not, but I'm going to pause it in a few places and point out a few things. What had happened is that ICE went back and looked at this video. I think this was on the 13th of January. They looked at it, they look at all of them, and they look at each person, and they watched Pretti very closely because of what happened in this video. They already knew he would be armed. More than likely he would be on the scene, and he would be aggressive. Watch this, guys. Maybe some other people will understand why it happened and why they knew they had to protect themselves. Now check this out. Again, he's been identified by even mainstream media as the same guy. You can tell it is. Same mannerisms, same clothes almost. Watch this. He kicks the taillight out. I guess he thinks, so he's a nurse, he'll be cool with that. Anyway, they grab him, he fights, kind of like he did before. And there's some places in here that are very interesting, and this had a lot to do with why they knew to be on guard during this situation. Just check it out here. Again, he's just kind of playing this back. He's trying to be the big man, the big nurse man, soy boy in front of the crowd, right? It cost him dearly. If you did that to my car, I probably wouldn't shoot you then, just like they didn't, but you get the hell beat out of you for sure. Anyway, take him down. Watch as we go through this, and you'll start to see that they reviewed this film and realized he was armed then. Check it out. Let it play through. I'm going to pause it here in a few points. He's doing the same bend over stance he did on the day that he got shot here. Here comes the crowd in, everything. That's him. He runs away. Watch right there. See that gun sticking out the back? All right, now they didn't see it at this point. He had his back to every one of these guys, but they went back and looked at every piece of film available, right? Every YouTube video, all the videos. And they saw what you and I are looking at now. And they figured out next time we see this guy or we confront him, and they had already ID'd him, and they have ways to do all of this, knew who he was, his intention, and we're prepared for it. Again, look at that. The gun is wide open. He doesn't, now he's going to be bold, take his jacket off, doesn't realize his gun is exposed. He's so stupid. That's why I'm saying I don't trust very few in the medical system anymore, especially after the pandemic. Again, here he is throwing his jacket on the ground. He's going to get bad, but his gun's still sticking out in plain view. But again, I don't think any of the Border Patrol ICE agents could see it at that point. But this may be right there. I don't know. But anyway, this video let them know they were dealing with an armed maniac, psycho. And they were prepared. And he pushed it, came back on them. Again, no ID, which is illegal. You can have a gun there with a permit, but not without an ID. And so he was illegal at that point. Of course, they didn't know it at that point. Now he's putting his shirt back down, and notice he's covered up where the weapon is, right there. He should have never done it. It was almost as if he was trying to look big in front of this crowd. And you could tell the way he was. He couldn't stand in a fist fight with anybody. But with that gun, he felt emboldened, and with the Minnesota courts the way they are, letting you go an hour out of jail if you get locked up with no bail, no bond money, okay? He knew, well, I'll get out, I'll kick the car, I'll do some damage, probably a lot of damage on the cost of vehicles these days, and be a big shot in front of these people. Tried it again, and it came to a dead end. I'm not going to make it long and drawn out. I just wanted to point it out. I'm not sure how the vote is going in the Senate, if they even got to it. If they have, I'll give you an update. I'm going to check it out in just a moment, guys. But when the libtards start telling you that this was an innocent nurse, no, he wasn't. He lucked up the first time. But they were ready for him the second time, and he came in the same way, and it cost him. It's a heads up. Be safe.